So one of the things about the product design process, and this is something that I teach, is that you always want to prototype, you want to try things, and you want to get them in the hands of users so that they can try them and get feedback to you to tell you what's working and what's not working. And as you might have seen in my previous post, I'd come up with an idea for a quick hack for a face shield for all the doctors out there who are in need. And I got that in the hands of my friend who is a doctor, and they are using them. However, I did get some feedback from them. And I started to think about what some of the feedback was, and is there a way that you can iterate on the idea and come up with something else. And so I've been playing around with a couple different ideas, and I think I've come up with another solution that's even simpler, and it solves a few of the problems that I found with the last one. And some of those problems were the fact that not everyone has access to the clear sheets of plastic that I had mentioned before. And yes, you can order them on Amazon, but the problem is that it's taking forever to get deliveries in this day and age with Amazon. So that kind of leads me to think, well, we need to find something that you can have more readily accessible to you. So that's one of the issues. The other issue that I found was that the cardboard tubes that I had on the side that I had put in place is something you could easily find, obviously, and it was designed to keep it off of your face. But the issue with that was that it wasn't something that you could clean easily, and in fact cardboard is not a good surface for the COVID-19. So I'm going to show you real quick as to how this might work, simply by getting a 2-liter clear plastic bottle. And I also want to limit the amount of materials that you need. So the only thing you're going to need is the bottle and a pair of scissors and something to tie. So you'll see here I've already done this, but it's just some gauze tape that I think most doctors' offices will have. And I've made some twine with the gauze tape. The first thing you want to do is near the top of the bottle, you want to go ahead and take your scissors and kind of see if you can get a hole started so you can start to cut. All right. Okay, so I got a hole started here. I'm gonna sort of cut around the top just to kind of get a little bit of an opening. Spot where I peeled off the label and it's got some sticky residue here. That I want to keep to the sides of the visor, because the rest of it is fairly smooth and clear, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and cut the bottle right down the middle here like this, right where that label would have been. Okay, I don't necessarily need to go all the way across the bottom. And I'm going to take this line that you see right on the bottom here, and I'm just going to cut along this line like this. Okay, so now we can get rid of that. Okay, now you're going to notice that the bottle, the part I cut off is the part that has these points, right? The top part of the bottle actually has this kind of rounded curvature on here. That's actually something I kind of want to utilize a little bit. So I'm gonna, if you can see where the curve is, I'm gonna basically go about a finger length's distance from the tangent point of where that curve is and cut the bottom of this off. Okay. Now it's not really that straight, but at this point that doesn't matter so much. Okay. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to try to lay it out flat, and basically with my fingers, I got pretty big hands. I'm going to go about the distance of my pinky to my thumb, which is roughly a little bit less than a foot, I would say. Make a cut mark there and a cut mark, a trim mark there, so I know how much I'm going to cut off. All right, so again, that's roughly about, I actually have a ruler here, it's about 10 inches. Okay, now I'm going to start from this line, and I'm going to cut perpendicular to the top, and as I get closer to the bottom, I'm going to start to curve around like this, And I'm going to make a nice kind of clean cut along that bottom edge. And do the same thing on the other side. Coming with a slight radius at the bottom, like this. And then coming across to the point where I connect with the other side. All right, so now you can see I've got kind of this rounded edge bottom here. It's got a little bit of a curvature on the bottom, which is going to help it keep its shape a little bit later. Now that we have this shape cut out, as you can see here, we need to make some folds. So take it and turn it over, so it naturally wants to curve this way. Turn it over this way so that it's curving upwards. And on the side that has the flat edge like this, I'm going to take roughly about, I'd say 3/4 of an inch or so, not quite a full inch, a little bit more than half an inch. I'm going to fold it over like this and create a fold all the way along the top edge like this. Okay? You can go ahead and kind of press down with your nail and sort of score it. And I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to go right to where that line is again. I'm going to fold it one more time, kind of like an accordion, like so. And I'm going to do that a third time. So fold it over one more time, go back on itself, and again I fold it like this. So I've got a total of three folds there. On the last fold that I made, I'm going to cut a line, and I'm only going to come in about 2 inches or so from either side. Okay, so that's going to leave maybe a little bit more than a hand width of space where it's connected in the middle. Like that. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to try to kind of fold this back out a little bit flatter again. And I'm going to cut at a little bit of an angle and try to take the scissors so they line up with the end of that cut that I just made on an angle. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim it off like this. That. And I'm going to do the same for this side. Okay, get rid of those pieces. Okay, now I can go ahead and fold it again, get it a little tighter. And then the last step I'm going to do is right in the first fold, right here, I'm going to cut a little notch like this and like this. There's a notch there, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay, so now I have 2 notches. And I can take those tabs and kind of fold them back a little bit like this. Okay. All right. Now I want to make sure that last fold is real tight, because it depends on the angle that the lens is going to make. So I can see now that angle is in the right angle as where the lens is. And so now all I need to do is either get a shoelace, or like I mentioned, some medical gauze tape, and I can take the tape and I can roll it and essentially make my own string. And by doing so, I would simply take the string and place it underneath this edge like this, and then I can take it up to my face like this and tie it in the back of my head. And I can angle it a little bit by pushing hard on some of the folds, but you can see I actually now have a pretty good lens that I can see out of, and it's going to protect my eyes, and it's going to wrap around. The other thing I can do that will help, a little windy today, is if I don't want it to curve so much around the edge like this, I can also take just kind of this top edge and put a little fold into it like this, and a little fold onto this side like this. And what that does is it creates a structural component, so now the lens doesn't fold around quite so steeply. And that would actually, if you can see, now it protects further out, like so. So the other cool thing about this design is because it's using just this material, I can obviously replace this. I can get a new string, a new piece of tape each time I use it, so I don't have to worry about disinfecting this per se. This is now reusable because it's made out of PETG, so it's an easily clean surface. I can simply just go ahead and take my squirt bottle with whatever cleaning solution I like and wipe it down. Go ahead and give it another fold so it's nice and tight and it fits the shape of the head again. And I'm good to go for another application. So I hope that helps. Again, as a product designer always says, never be afraid to fail. Always try many things, see what works. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to give this back to my doctor friend and see if this is a better solution for them, and we'll go from there. Good luck, everybody.